Hans Nichols is with us now, an Axios political reporter. It comes to mind, had he had this tone, you wonder if the Republicans would have lost the Senate.
Oh, that's an interesting hypothetical. And I'm not really qualified to answer that. What we heard there, though, Shep, was the concession speech. That was the concession speech. And it's 2 months after the election, but that was Donald Trump finally, for the first time, conceding. He said he's going to play and have an orderly transition. So you're going to have a seamless, he said, transition. He acknowledged, as you said, that there's going to be a new administration on January 20th. So it was a concession speech, but also there at the very end, it was also the kickoff of 2024 when he said, my journey, our journey, talking directly to his supporters, is only just beginning. But to me, this is the most significant thing we have heard from the president since the end of the election. And that is that he is conceding. He's planning to run again, but we've heard it from the president, and he's accepted reality at this point. Shep?
We've been hearing that it was chaotic. Multiple sources, Hans, I know you have too, that he was chaotic, apoplectic, looking for revenge. Those were the descriptions that we got yesterday and into the night. And now this turn, anything from behind the scenes on how this happened?
Well, we know what's going on publicly, and that is publicly there's a great deal of pressure. There are cabinet officials that are resigning. There are calls for his impeachment on Capitol Hill. There's open talk among congressional Republican officials about the 25th Amendment, and as Kayla is reporting, it was discussed at the highest levels at certain departments. So there is public pressure. I don't know whether or not this is the president sort of conceding to that public pressure or at least acknowledging it, but he is talking about a responsible transition to the next government, which would be Joe Biden's administration. Now, there was a little throat clearing in there, right? He claimed that he immediately called up the National Guard yesterday and immediately deployed them. Facts don't really bear that out. But the broader point here, Shep, on January 7th, sometime in the 7 p.m. hour, Donald Trump has finally conceded. And he's also hinting that he's going to run again, but he's conceded, and he's apparently willing to turn the page.
That is the headline. The reporting of NBC News is that he did not call up the National Guard. The reporting of NBC News is that it was Mike Pence who called up the National Guard. And I'm not going to just let go his words on yesterday's chaos. He sounded almost like the arsonist who calls the fire department and then later when the news crews get there says to the reporter, this is the most awful thing I've ever seen. I hope whoever set this gets thrown in jail.
Look, Donald Trump's always been able to broadcast on different frequencies. That's how he won the Republican primary. That's how he won the general election in 2016. Eventually, it caught up with him, and he wasn't able to broadcast and say one thing to one group of people, another to another, and able to capture the presidency again. You saw that in the collapse of his support within the suburbs while he was trying to talk to rural America. So successful for a time, but that time is now over. And I think one of the other significant things, almost psychological, Shep, that we heard from the president, he said, serving as your president has been the greatest honor of my lifetime. In the past, when he says that, it's in the present tense. It is the greatest honor of my lifetime. So to me, that was the president acceding to reality, willing to turn the page, and we'll have to see to what extent he follows through and whether or not briefings start at the Pentagon, information is being shared through all the relevant agencies as these agency review teams from the Biden transition come in and prepare to govern. So we know what the president said. He's spoken directly to his supporters. He was critical of some of them, saying these are heinous acts. And now we have to see whether or not there's any backsliding and whether or not he will continue with this message. But that's President Donald Trump throwing in the towel. And I think that's the headline.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.